presenting a strategic partnership between Rosneft and ExxonMobil. The partnership will bring together the resource potential of the Russian national oil company Rosneft with the project management expertise of the global energy leader ExxonMobil. Through their cooperation, both partners will guarantee a first-class reserve base for decades to come, enabling rapid growth of production to meet increasing levels of global hydrocarbon demand. The world's reserves of oil are being quickly depleted. Development of new regions with major resource potential is required to meet the growing needs of the international economy. Global resources of oil and gas are currently estimated at 4 trillion barrels of oil equivalent. Significantly, Russia's hydrocarbon resources are estimated at 1 trillion barrels, representing 25% of global resources. A large share of these volumes, more than 700 billion barrels, are located offshore on Russia's continental shelf. Russia's vast offshore potential is based on 4 major regions: the Western Arctic, the Eastern Arctic, the Far East, and the Russian zones of the Black Sea and the Caspian. Rosneft already has licenses for 29 Russian offshore blocks, with total recoverable resources of 190 billion barrels of oil equivalent. In the near future, Rosneft plans to continue expanding its resource potential by applying for the undistributed licenses. The newly signed strategic agreement will cover blocks in the Kara Sea of the Western Arctic and in the Black Sea of the southern region. The estimated combined resource base to be developed by the partners exceeds 90 billion barrels of oil equivalent. The agreement also involves technology transfer and management cooperation between the partners. The first key component of the strategic partnership will be joint exploration and development of the 3 East Prinovozymielsky blocks in the Kara Sea. There is a high potential of major discoveries on the Kara Sea shelf, which in geological terms is a continuation of the West Siberian oil and gas province. West Siberia currently accounts for more than 60% of Russia's oil production, relying on well-studied geology and time-tested technologies. The 3 blocks in the Kara Sea have a total area of 49,000 square miles. This area is comparable in size to the North Sea oil and gas province, which has been a vital source of energy for the European market in recent decades. The environment and climate in the Kara Sea region are challenging but predictable. The sea is icebound between October and June, and ice thickness is about 6.5 feet in the wintertime. These conditions are similar to those in other Arctic projects successfully managed by ExxonMobil. The preliminary geological model of the Kara Sea is based on data from 16,000 miles of 2D seismic work, which were carried out at the end of the 1980s and in 2007. As many as 23 sizable prospective structures have already been identified. Recoverable resources at the Kara Sea blocks are estimated at 85 billion barrels of oil equivalent. Even partial confirmation of this potential will in effect create a new oil-producing province of global significance and will substantially increase the proven reserves and capitalization of both partners. Rosneft and Exxon have given preliminary approval to a geological exploration plan for the Kara Sea, requiring estimated investments of $2.2 billion. The immediate focus will be on the most promising zones at the first East Prinovozymielsky block, particularly the large Universitetska structure, which has estimated recoverable resources exceeding 9 billion barrels of oil equivalent. 3D work at this zone will start in 2012. Special ice-class vessels will be used for the seismic studies. Specialized service providers have already been selected and should begin studies in the next few months. Locations for exploration wells will be selected after interpretation of the seismic data. Drilling of the first wells is expected as early as 2014-2015. Exploration drilling in the Kara Sea will be carried out using jack-up rigs, as the sea depth in the region of the first exploration wells is estimated to be no more than 300 feet. Upper oil-bearing layers are believed to be at a depth of about 5,000 feet, so it should be possible to efficiently confirm the resource base and begin commercial production expediently. The partners are already working closely with the Russian government on the development of a new tax system that will take account of the costs and challenges involved in offshore developments. The partners are confident that the new taxation system will be firmly in place by the time of exploration drilling and will guarantee payback of investments and profitability, reflecting high complexity of the project. The companies expect a final investment decision on full-scale development of fields in the Kara Sea to be taken in 2016-2017. Development of the Kara Sea shelf will most probably be carried out using ice-resistant gravity-based platforms, which are being designed by the ExxonMobil Upstream Research Company in Houston jointly with the newly established Arctic Technology Center in St. Petersburg. In view of the potential volume of recoverable reserves and scale of the project, oil processing and storage facilities will most probably be grouped at a special unit serving a number of production platforms and linked to an extended docking facility for oil loading. Oil will be transported to the nearby European market by ice-class tankers, accompanied by icebreakers when necessary. The key to the success of Russia's Arctic projects will be ExxonMobil's unique operating experience in similar projects. The American company has been involved since the 1970s in the development of Prudhoe Bay, the largest field in North America, located 250 miles north of the Arctic Circle. In 1984, ExxonMobil deployed the first ice-resistant reinforced concrete drilling platform in the Beaufort Sea, and one of the most advanced ice-resistant gravity-based platforms in the world entered service at the end of the last century as a part of the Hibernia project. The Hibernia platform is designed to withstand icebergs of more than 1 million tons. In terms of climatic conditions and sea depth, the Hibernia project is the closest analogue for future developments in the Kara Sea. ExxonMobil and Rosneft are already partners in another successful offshore project, Sakhalin-1, which started commercial production of oil in 2005. And which has also risen to the challenge of tough climate and operating conditions. More than 300 million barrels of oil have already been recovered in Sakhalin-1 using unique technology solutions that include horizontal wells more than 40,000 feet long, as well as groundbreaking techniques to ensure industrial and environmental safety. Valuable experience gained in these and other projects will be applied in development of the Kara Sea fields to ensure maximum commercial efficiency and the highest standards of environmental safety. The second key component of the strategic partnership between Rosneft and ExxonMobil is the joint exploration and development of the Tuapse block in the Russian sector of the Black Sea, directly adjacent to Rosneft's onshore projects. The Black Sea region has established infrastructure and is close to the southern European market. The Tuapse block has an area of 4,600 square miles, and its geology is similar to that of the West Kubania Trough, which is located on the other side of the Caucasus Ridge and is one of the oldest oil-producing regions in Russia. Rosneft and ExxonMobil specialists have already compared the geology of the Tuapse block with that of similar regions where oil has been discovered. Such regions include the Niger Delta in West Africa, the Amazon sediment cone, the Gulf of Mexico, and northwest Borneo. The results of this work support initial expectations of sizable discoveries at the Tuapse block. The Tuapse block has been fully covered by 2D seismic analysis, and the most promising areas have also been studied using 3D seismic. The data obtained shows 20 prospective structures with total recoverable resources of 9 billion barrels of oil. A further 1,800 square miles of 3D seismic work is now being carried out using a special vessel and will be completed by the end of 2012. Specialists from Rosneft and ExxonMobil are developing a three-dimensional geological model of the block in order to identify optimal locations for exploration wells. Drilling of the first well is scheduled for 2014-2015. Drilling of wells in the Black Sea will be carried out by a specialized vessel equipped with a dynamic positioning system. The partners have a preliminary agreement to use the Deepwater Champion, which is already operating in offshore zones of the Black Sea as part of ExxonMobil's projects. This modern, 6th-generation drilling vessel was custom-built for ExxonMobil and is well suited to conditions at the Tuapse block, where oil is located 16,000 to 20,000 feet below the seabed at sea depths of up to 10,000 feet. If a commercial discovery is made, the development will be carried out using underwater production complexes and spar-type platforms. Preliminary estimates suggest that if the resource base is confirmed, total investments for development of Russia's offshore fields could exceed $500 billion in coming decades. This volume of investments will create strong demand for the products and services of Russia's shipbuilding, machine building, transport, metallurgy, energy generation and oilfield service industries. The partners are committed to protecting the unique ecosystem of the Arctic region and the Black Sea by adhering to the latest environmental standards and requirements at all stages of the future projects. In the Arctic, the partners will have to deal with ice and challenging climate conditions, including temperatures as low as -60 degrees Fahrenheit. Technical challenges in the Black Sea include sea depth and the considerable depth of the target horizons below the seabed. These challenges will be addressed by the first Russia-based world-class Arctic Research Center, which is being set up by the partners. The plan is to jointly invest up to $500 million in the center, which will bring together the know-how of the Russian oil and gas industry, including Rosneft's 4 existing R&D centers, with the expertise and experience of ExxonMobil's Upstream Research Center in Houston. The Arctic Research Center will address a large number of tasks, monitoring and forecasting ice conditions, developing ice management systems, calculating ice load, developing technologies for seismic work in icy conditions and interpretation of seismic data, designing transport and energy infrastructure, developing technologies for oil spill prevention and response in the Arctic region, designing ice-resistant platforms, and geological and hydrodynamic modeling. The center will also focus on designing deep-water platforms, as well as technical solutions for work in a sulfurous sea environment. In sum, the center will be responsible for designing the full cycle of exploration and development work at Russia's offshore areas. The center will become a unique research hub in the future, giving the partners a sustained competitive edge in the Russian offshore industry. Rosneft and ExxonMobil have also agreed to discuss potential appraisal and development of hard-to-recover oil reserves in West Siberia. West Siberia is a key production region for Rosneft, and most of the company's acreages there contain hard-to-recover oil reserves. A standard 3-dimensional model shows that upper, highly productive strata have already been tapped by production wells. However, there are horizons at lower levels, which have been neglected until now. These are primarily strata of the Bazhenov Formation, which are similar to the sources of shale oil in the USA, as well as reservoirs with low permeability in the Archimov Formation, and deep-lying, low-thickness reservoirs of the Tyumen series. Hard-to-recover reserves and resources at existing Rosneft license areas are estimated at 13 billion barrels. The most promising method for their development is horizontal drilling with multiple-zone hydrofracturing. In 2011, Rosneft successfully drilled the first such boreholes at the Priobskoye field, obtaining initial daily flow rates of 1,800 barrels per day, which exceeded expectations. The potential of hard-to-recover oil production in Russia is immense, and so far has been left untapped. One of Rosneft's key strategic goals is to gain access to the latest international technologies and project management experience. Partnership with ExxonMobil gives Rosneft an opportunity to participate in deep-water offshore exploration projects in the Gulf of Mexico, hard-to-recover oil projects in the USA and Canada, and other projects in several strategically important regions. A key aspect of the Rosneft-ExxonMobil partnership is the extension of cooperation beyond particular projects to a much deeper level, including transfer of the latest industry competencies and development of executive and technical talents. The alliance between immense resource potential and unique technical and management expertise marks a new era for the global energy industry. Together, the partners will develop major untapped production provinces, expanding the world's reserve base to the ultimate benefit of their shareholders.